Twitch, howdy YouTube, how we feeling, how we doing today? Welcome to the show. You got Jimmy Moreland here for you from veteranaudio.com, voice actor, audiobook narrator, and music producer, and we are back on the show. What we like to do here is we like to do voiceover auditions. We head over to the big voiceover casting websites, the pay-to-plays as they're called. That'll be voices.com and voice123.com. And depending on how those go, we might also head over to ACX, the Audiobook Creation Exchange, to see if there are any audiobooks available there for us to take a look at. But for right now, this is what we'll be looking at. We got Pro Tools over here on the left, and we've got our websites over here on the right that you can take a look at. And I noticed that we're on a different view here, so let's straighten up our view here. There we go. Now you can see the whole screen. Let's take a look here. Over on Voices, let's hit refresh. And this job here just came in, so we're going to take a look at it real quick here. Love to see a scratch video. I don't need to see the comments. Please hide. Thank you. For God's sake.
Infinity InTouch services with Google built-in delivers the thrill of seamless, connected driving experience. Infinity owners can enjoy a more personalized ride.
Okay. So there's that. Let's take a look at the script. Man, the formatting on this, holy. Can we please wrap the text? What? Look at this formatting on this. What the hell are you guys doing? Why won't these wrap? Adjust column. Okay. Jesus. All right. Just wanted to be able to see the damn text, for God's sake. All right, yeah, 7-point font. Thanks, guys. All right. Can we actually all select all? Thank you. 16-point font. Here we go. Now I can zoom a little bit and feel good about this. Okay, VO read. Okay. All right, I guess we're just going to jump in here. Take a look, and why am I not? Hello? 1, 2, 1, 2. There we go. Strange that happened. Okay. All right. With Alexa built in, you can ask Alexa for the weather. Wait. Oh my God, did it not wrap the text? How do you mess this up so bad? Look at this. Like, wrap the text. Jesus Christ. Format. Can we please wrap? Wrap. And I can't select it. Sometimes you'll have clients that don't know how to use a Word document, and they just completely screw up. Yeah, no matter what I do, it doesn't want to properly wrap the text, so I can't see all of their copy. Can we, let's just open it up in a Google document. Like, people just, they do, like, and when you paste it in, this is a Google thing, though. Look at this. And even this, Google is, like, copying the horrible, jacked-up word wrap. Oh, my God. I guess maybe we just don't do this audition because their copy is so fucked up. I've never seen something this bad. Okay, let's bring you back to 7-point. This is so stupid. Look at this. It's going way past my margins. It never wraps. All right, I'm reporting this. I'm just reporting it. It's an unreport. Missing or incorrect script word wrap is hopelessly it's hopelessly, I want to say fucked up, but I don't want to be like rude to the people at voices.com. Is hopelessly I'm just saying messed up to the point of illegibility. Like, I don't know how you fuck that up that bad. How are you that bad at your job that you can't post a script that isn't super fucked up? I often we're on one today. We're gonna skip this because we're only an 80% role announcer. That'll be why, and it's video game as well. I've often had this thought of like, I have never had a job where it was like fine if I was terrible at it. I've never experienced that. Every job I've ever had, even when I was 14 years old and I got my first like real job, like as in not like working at my dad's office or helping my dad like do lawn work or something. My first real job with a paycheck was at Subway. I was a sandwich artist. And like even at 14 years old, like I couldn't be bad at my job. If I was fucking up every sandwich, I would have gotten fired. Like, yeah, like everyone has training, everyone learns their job and everything, and that's fine. But eventually you get to the point where you can't just consistently be bad at your job. And I think that's true for most people, but there are people floating around out there who are objectively, consistently bad at their jobs, and it seems fine somehow. Like I don't want to get into a discussion of like, late stage capitalism and the exploitation of workers and all that stuff, because that's all real and very, but if you're doing it, like, and I'm not talking about like doing the bare minimum not to get fired. That's not what I'm talking about. Doing the bare minimum not to get fired, hell yeah, I'm all about that. But just being bad at something that has your name on it, that's what gets me. Anytime it's like, hey, like, I've done this thing, I've spent my time. It takes as much time to do a bad job as a good job. It doesn't really take much more effort. And if your reputation is going to be associated with your output, then for God's sake, why would you want it to be shitty output? And I don't want to harp on that individual so much, but like if you can't format a table, like if you're consistently, like, your job is like putting together that script and you're putting out tables with broken word wrapping, like, what are you fucking doing? Oh boy. Okay, let's get in this. Rye spots. Are we talking about booze rye? I'd love to get a read on all three scripts as presented. All three scripts? Okay. This short? Yeah, okay. If this person was going to be asking for like, just 15 minutes, just do 15 minutes of reading for an audition, I was about to go on another rant here. Redemption. Bold, spicy, and amazingly smooth bourbon, warming hearts and lifting spirits with a pre-prohibition spin. Redemption whiskey, huh? I'm actually curious real quick. Redemption whiskey. Wonder who distributes this. Yeah. Okay. Oh my god. Deutsche Family Wine and Spirits. So I'm doing this because I produce a podcast. That's one of the many things that I do. I do podcast production for hire for corporate clients. And my longest running client right now is an alcohol services provider. They basically, if you're like, hey, I want to start an alcohol brand, or I've already got an alcohol brand, but maybe I'm only in one state or two states, or maybe I'm in Europe and I want to break into the U.S. market. This company, this client is. They will sort of be as involved as you want them to be, but they will help get your product into all 50 states if that's what you want. They'll set up e-commerce for you. If you don't even have your brand set up yet, they will help you source the liquid that goes in the bottle. They'll help you source the bottle. They'll help design the label. They'll help figure out packaging and logistics and all this stuff, marketing and all this stuff. It's really cool sort of how much like this company offers basically full turnkey services or just a la carte, just a couple things that you might need. So anytime like anything alcohol related comes up in a voiceover audition context, I tend to go like, wonder if they've done any work or in any way are related to my podcast client. Media and trade, inspiration, interesting. I'd have to do some deep like LinkedIn research, I think, but we're not going to do that right now live on the podcast or on the live stream. All right, there's already 100+ responses, so it's so unlikely that we're going to get heard. We'd love to get a piece of that $2,400, but it seems so unlikely that we're going to skip it. Okay, is this? It's the same fucking guy. Let's see how this script. It's the same shit. Look at this. What are you supposed to do with this? It's literally 7-point font. And if you make it any bigger, the word wrap breaks. Well, maybe this time it didn't. Find it, tap, continue. Okay, this time it didn't break. Okay. Jesus. Okay. We're able to do this one. I don't know what was going on with that last one, but man, it was frustrating. All right. To get the most out of your new Infinity QX80 and enjoy the best. Okay, just for some reason I thought we weren't rolling, but we are. To get the most out of your new Infinity QX80 and enjoy the best connectivity experience, follow these steps. And enjoy the best connectivity experience. Follow these steps to easily set up your in-vehicle data and Wi-Fi. On your device, up your in-vehicle data and Wi-Fi. On your device, On your device, go to www.att.com/infinity. Scroll down to the free trial box and tap Get Started. If you already have an account with AT&T, trial box and tap Get Started. If you already have an trial box and tap Get Started. If you already have an account with AT&T, scroll down and select Sign In and enter your credentials. Trial box and tap Get Started. If you already have an account with AT&T, scroll down and select Sign In and enter your credentials. Trial box and tap Get Started. If you already have an trial box and tap Get Started. If you already have an account with AT&T, scroll down and select Sign In and enter your credentials. Trial box and tap Get Started. If you already have an account with AT&T, scroll down and select Sign In and enter your credentials. If you do not already have an account, begin by entering your 17-character VIN number. Consult your owner's manual if you do not know where to find it. Consult your owner's manual if you do not know where to your 17-character VIN number. Consult your owner's manual if you do not know where your 17-character VIN number. Consult your owner's manual if you do not know where to find it. Tap Continue. Tap Get Started. Where to find it. Tap Continue. Tap Get Started. Enter your information to create your new account. Jesus fucking Christ. Tap Get Started. Enter your information to create your new account credentials. Tap Continue. You have successfully created your... Oh my God, I can't read right now. Account credentials. Tap Continue. You have successfully created your account. Next, you will receive. You have successfully created your account. Next, you will receive an email with your trial activation. You have successfully created your account. You have successfully created your account. Next, you will receive an email with your trial activation link. Tap Activate Your Trial. Enter your Tap Activate Your Trial. Enter your credentials, check the box to accept the terms and conditions, and tap Continue. Congratulations, you have now completed enrollment. Okay. Let's edit this. Super fast here. Grab this, copy, paste it at the front here, and then because we did punch and roll edit, as painful as that was, the edit will be super fast. I'm just hitting tab to jump forward to the next edit point, and then I'm just adjusting the boundaries of both clips. Dragging the old forward, and the new forward as well. Lots of noise, man. Lots of mouth noise for me right now. That's all right. That's all right. All right. It's that simple. And you'll notice we stopped before we got to the end of the script. What are we calling this? IIS vehicle hotspot. Okay. Okay. Reply. Boom. 400. Select the file. There it is. And go. Next up, we have Bridal Veil Falls. As if the speaker is being interviewed for a documentary. Like, now, I get that. This right here, the spec, the requirements here. Larry, what's going on, brother? So when you say you were hearing an echo, is it gone now? And then when I turn this on, is it back? Wait. Now. Probably a bad echo right now. Yeah. And then now it's mostly gone. Maybe a little bit of phase kind of sound or a chorus sound, but it's not so bad. That would be because, so right now I've got just the track armed and it's coming through. But then when I turn on my, good. So that tracks exactly. So what I'm turning on is this guy right here. Make him active. This is my my noise cancellation. It's not a broad noise cancellation plugin per se. It is specifically the RX mouth declick product. And this thing is a miracle product. Turn it off there. It's a miracle product. It gets rid of all the... Not a compressor. It basically, it's like listening. It's like looking and listening to the track. And anytime there's a little mouth clicks, it cuts them right out. But it's super processor intensive, and it needs a little bit of a buffer to look ahead and listen. And so necessarily it creates a little bit of a delay when you are live monitoring it, like we are when we briefly have to turn it on as we're getting ready to export our audio. We turn it on, and we're still live monitoring our audio, and so it creates that delay. So I usually try not to talk too much when that thing is on. That's why, like, when I hit render, I'll stop talking for a moment until I can get back in and turn everything off. All right. This script here. So these things conflict here. Would like it to sound as if the speaker is being interviewed for a documentary. But the script is more like the narrator of the documentary. Telluride, Colorado is a small town located in southwestern Colorado. For decades, people from around the globe have explored the natural beauty of this place. One location in particular attracts more people than anywhere else in the area. This is Bridal Veil Falls. Like, this isn't like story time from like a person who's like, oh, like, hey, this is pure voiceover. Like, so this doesn't track. Like, this client doesn't really know what they want. Like, they think they know, like, but they're wrong. They're wrong. They are wrong about what they want. They absolutely are wrong. Sometimes we know better than the clients. So, yeah, that's just wrong. God. Telluride, Colorado is a small town located in southwestern Colorado. For decades, people from around the globe have explored the natural beauty of this place. One location in particular attracts more people than anywhere else in the area. This is Bridal Veil Falls. With a vertical drop of 365 feet, it is Colorado's tallest... Oh, Jesus, I'm so zoomed in. This is Bridal Veil Falls. With a vertical This is Bridal Veil Falls. With a vertical drop of 365 feet, it is Colorado's tallest freestanding waterfall. In 1886, Nikola Tesla, Colorado's tallest freestanding waterfall. Colorado's tallest freestanding waterfall. In 1886, Nikola Tesla he founded alternating current. It's not a fraternity chapter. He didn't found, it's not a corporation. He didn't found it. He discovered it. He described it. He didn't found it. It makes no fucking sense. These I'm starting to think that maybe doing this live stream is a bad idea, because now it's just me complaining about bad writing for 2 hours every day. I'm going to piss a client off one of these days. You were on the live stream talking shit about my writing. Brr, 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 brr. My brother in Christ, write better. All right. Colorado's tallest freestanding waterfall. Free falling. See, I can't even say the words right. Vertical drop of 365 feet. Vertical drop of 365 feet. It is Colorado's vertical drop of 365 feet. It is Colorado's tallest free-falling waterfall. In 1886, Nikola Tesla founded alternating current, which revolutionized the technology in mining towns. With a new type of energy on the rise, water-fueled power plants were being installed everywhere. The technology in mining town. I'm just mush-mouthing my way through that. Colorado's tallest free-falling waterfall. In 1886, Nikola Tesla founded alternating current, which revolutionized the technology in mining towns. With a new type of energy on the rise, water-fueled power plants were being installed everywhere. The Smuggler Union hydroelectric power plant that stands above the falls was built in 1907 to aid in developing the Smuggler. And these commas, this is twice that they've had a completely random comma in here. This comma it's not just unnecessary, it is wrong. Whatever. Electric power plant that stands above the electric power plant that stands above the falls was built in electric power plant that stands above the falls was built in 1907 to aid in developing the Smuggler Union Mining Company. Electric power plant that stands above the falls was built in 1907 to aid in developing the Smuggler Union. I can't say it. Electric power plant that stands above the falls. Electric power plant that stands above the falls was built in 1907 to aid in developing the Smuggler Union Mining Company, one of Colorado's most important producers during the late 19th century. And that's all they're going to get, because that puts us right at 50 seconds, and that's all you get. It's taken us a long time to get through these auditions, because it's more applicable in audiobooks than it is in voiceover, because voiceover is just a volume game. You just gotta get the gigs, turn them around quickly, whatever. But when you're doing an audiobook, it really, really matters and can make your life amazing or miserable. All right, turning on the D-click, and then there's the delay. Bounce it though, and this is Bridal Veil Falls. Bridal Veil Falls. There we go. And, I didn't realize, God, son of a, I didn't look at the budget. Look at this. Oh my God. So this actually does fit with what I was going to talk about anyway. There's the budget versus effort paradox with a lot of creative work. I found this to be true nowhere more so than with when I was shooting a lot of weddings as a photographer. The cheaper, the lower the client's budget is as a photographer, the harder you will work. And you can't even go like, well, it's fine, it's for my portfolio, so I'll do the cheap work. Because you're going to be getting shit work in your portfolio if you do nothing but cheap weddings. Because if you consider, okay, if they only have $200 to pay a photographer, how much money do you think they have to pay for flowers, to pay for the venue, to pay for the dress, to pay for hair and makeup? They're going to be cheaping out on every other thing if they're cheaping out on the photographer. So you as the photographer, maybe you're great at your job, but you're going to be taking great photos of cheap venue, flowers, hair, makeup, dress. Like, Larry, that's amazing. I ain't talking about you. You can do no wrong. I'm talking about clients who think it's ridiculous to pay, a fair market rate to a photographer. They're probably not paying fair market rates for anything else. And so you as a photographer, if you're trying to build your portfolio, you're going to build your portfolio with cheap looking weddings. And so other people are going to look at your portfolio and go, oh, cheap photographer only does cheap weddings. Like you're never going to give yourself a raise. And it's also the same for musicians. If you're going to say yes to getting $50 to play at a bar, you're probably going to have a shitty time because that bar probably isn't paying well for a lot of other things. It's not going to be great. Like, it's true in everything. And in voiceover, it's also true because if their budget for voice talent is between $5 and $99, I can't believe whatever. If this is their budget, think of what else they have cheaped out on. They have definitely cheaped out on copy editing or hiring someone who's like an actual writer. They probably just had some intern write this up. I don't want to, no, you know what? I don't want to throw shade on interns because that probably implies a college education. This is written by some boomer who thinks, oh, sure, I can write. And then we get this garbage. And it is garbage. Like, come at me, voices. I don't give a shit. This is garbage. This copy is garbage. This job is garbage. This budget range, this shit belongs on Fiverr. It belongs on Upwork, where people are actively participating in a race to the bottom. I'm paying $400 a year to be a member of this website. There should be some gatekeeping going on. This is fucking bullshit. So we're going to quote at the very top of their range, and if we get it, whatever. And if not, I really don't care. 99. Or maybe I should quote it like what it should be quoted. For something like this, yeah, maybe this is fine at the very, very, very top of the range. Whatever. I'll read for a minute for that much money, but like, uh, that's not what this website is for. This website isn't for cheap ass work. This website is for professional voice actors to try to pay their mortgage. And I can't do it $5 at a time. Oh my God. Thank God for audiobook work. If I was solely dependent on voiceover work, just the like feast or famine nature of voiceover work, I would be absolutely going crazy. But audiobooks, holy shit! I finally put everything on my calendar. Everything that I have either contracts signed for, or it's like implied, or like there's an agreement just via email, like, yeah, we're going to be doing this book or whatever. I am booked out through early December on audiobooks. And between now and then, like, who knows what else I'll book, but like, holy shit. So I've got all kinds of stuff to do. So I'll be probably trying to cut some of these live streams a little bit short, or rolling straight into narrating. Let's take a look here. This is a video for a detail shop looking to add services to their ticket. Looking for promotional read leaning towards upbeat reading with a confident, yeah, you're going to want this tone. We'll look at the script, but I have a feeling this isn't us. Larry, are you still working for the, is it the solar renewable something or other company? Diamond plate, unrivaled protection against the elements. Yeah, see. Oh man, sorry to hear that, or congratulations, however you're taking it. That can always be like great or bad news. Anytime, virtually every time in my life I've found myself unemployed, it was such a relief. Like, oh man. See, okay, so this is an annoying thing that many clients do. If you have a product name or a company name that there's any kind of ambiguity on how that is pronounced, for God's sake, give us a pronunciation guide. Simonese, like, I don't know how to say this, dude. Okay, Spine Solutions. Here's another annoying thing. Spine Solutions. Do we think this is actually animation? Maybe the video is animated, but that doesn't mean it's animation category. This should be video narration category, I guarantee it. Let's take a look. The Synergy Disc is the first artificial cervical disc to restore both alignment and balance while preserving natural physiologic motion. This is perhaps even e-learning, but maybe video. It's either e-learning or video narration as the category is what it should be. But this client, who they've never been rated, so maybe this is the first job they've ever posted, so maybe what they lack is a little bit of experience in education, but voices.com could absolutely solve that by when a client picks animation in the drop-down, there needs to be a little thing that says, are you sure? Are you producing a Looney Tunes cartoon right now? Because if you're not, don't fucking pick animation. Just because a video is animated does not mean that it is an animation category. I'm going to report this as being in the missing or incorrect. Here we go. Not animation category. Like, I'm getting ready to burn some bridges with these websites, man. This is stuff that we've been complaining about for months. We've let them know, super simple fixes, and they just refuse. They just refuse to fix them. And see, this client did a great job. They didn't do just straight video games category, which would have been fine because this is an ad/explainer for a video game. They specifically did online ad subcategory video games. What a smart client. And this person hasn't been rated either. So but they took 2 seconds to figure out what the hell they were doing. We're still going to pass on this because we're only a 90% voice match and the budget's pretty low. Budget is $0 plus? What does that mean? What are we doing, voices? What are we doing? I've never seen this as a budget before. And look, this client put no information anywhere. Reporting this. Like, missing everything. Missing everything. Like, $0. This doesn't belong on voices.com. It belongs on Fiverr or Upwork. What am I paying an annual fee for? Like, oh my God. $0 for me to read 330 words. No. And I can guarantee, we'll look at the script. I can guarantee this is going to be shit script. Step into the 16th century when a Spanish sailor, captivated by its beauty, christened it Formosa. What are you talking about? I suppose this could be a situation where the video sort of provides the referent here. Fast forward to the 17th century, when the Qing dynasty bestowed upon it the name we know today, Taiwan. In modern cities, like, it's not as bad as I expected, but this would really, really have to lean really heavily on good editing to make the audio-visual thing make sense. But $0 budget, get the fuck out of here with that. Like, there are websites for bottom-of-the-barrel, super, super cheap talent. It's Fiverr and it's Upwork. That's where you go if you have a budget of $5 for a voiceover. Let's take a look here. This one, good budget, good solid copy for a credit union. It's the kind of stuff that we do all the time. But because we have other things to do in the morning, we're getting here a little late to the game. Actually, this came in yesterday, so this has been everyone's had a crack at this. So that's why there's over 100 responses in line ahead of us. So we're not going to do it because ain't no way we're going to get heard. And it's probably going to be the same deal with these other two. 66 responses ahead of us in line. We're only a 90% voice match. Very interesting budget here, $558. These people know exactly what their budget is. It's an American Red Cross job. I tend really not to like the copy that they do. It's very sort of old school salesy. Like, it's meant as it says right here, telephone category. It's meant to be sent out as like basically what I would consider to be spam. But these will be people who like have donated blood to the American Red Cross blood fund in the past. And like maybe when they give in their information, they're like, sure, like I'll sign up for the thing and you can like send me a message. And you are getting something. When you come to give blood in July, you'll get a Fandango movie ticket by email. Like, oh, and you can go get an umbrella. You can get a free umbrella when you give blood. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. It's good stuff, though. Like, I'd love one day to get one of those American Red Cross jobs. Like, that's a cool client to have on your portfolio. SB721 with zebra. Or I wonder if they want the British pronunciation, zebra. When engaging zebra construction for your Senate Bill 721 requirements, we provide owners and management companies with a notice to be posted for tenants. So this is your standard sort of like legal disclaimer type stuff that'll be required in some cases. 90 responses ahead of us in line. Not going to do it. So there it is, voices.com. We did one audition and we kind of didn't mean to do it. Right? We just did the one, right? Whatever. Let's look at Voice123. We're going to move right through these. We've got 11 jobs in here. We're going to come off full screen. I got to check each one of these to make sure that none of these clients are about to dox themselves by showing their full first and last name in the client information section. Making sure clients have the option to have their name in the client information section just show up as client number, yada, yada, yada. And the vast majority of clients do that, but occasionally you'll get one client who like puts their full first and last name and a picture of their face. None of these clients have shown any identifying information. So here we go. First thing we do on Voice is we figure out what jobs we're not going to do. And the easiest way to do a first pass is to find numbers like this. This client has requested to hear 20 proposals or auditions. They've already received 23. So it's basically impossible that we're going to get heard by this client. So we clear that out. 63 out of 50, clear that out. 22 out of 20, clear that. 90 out of 35, clear that. 34 out of 25. And likewise, if it's super, super close to the limit, I don't want to be in that situation where, oh, it's 29 out of 30. I go over here and I do the audition, and by the time I finish that and get back here, one other person has got an in-line, and it's suddenly 30 out of 30, and I feel like a big dumb ass. So for these, we're going to clear these out as well. 29 out of 30, 24 out of 25. And even this, we're going to not do this one for a different reason. This one is 48 out of 50. We could probably get this done and get it in under the wire. But this client is looking for a quote. And on Voice123, you live and die by the algorithm. And if you quote the wrong thing, you're not going to get hired. And so you'll get penalized in the algorithm because you're not a mind reader. So on voices.com, we were complaining about some of the client education stuff, people miscategorizing things, stuff like that, and just generally putting like dog shit bad budgets. Here, I don't even know what their budget is. This is my biggest single complaint about Voice123 is that clients are allowed to just say, oh, I'm just looking for a quote. Because that puts it on us as talent to just try to guess, to try to read their mind. And it's a huge, huge risk for talent to take. And I can't believe there are 48 people out there who are willing to take a risk. I'd love to see what the quotes were. I'm sure there are a lot of people who are quoting just like absolute bottom of the barrel dog shit quotes. Like, yeah, I'll do that for $10. And maybe there's some people out there who quoted like a fair, like union market rate. I have a feeling that the people who quoted a fair market rate are going to get penalized in the algorithm because this client probably isn't prepared to pay a fair market rate. If they were, they would have just put that in their budget. So this just super, super annoying. It's the biggest flaw in Voice123, I think. Like, I've got gripes about the algorithm in general and how it's implemented, but that in particular is like, cool. Like, just anytime someone says they're looking for a quote, that's just a job that I'm automatically never, ever, ever going to do. Cool. Let's take a look at this. Big old budget here. $3,000. Why? Why? My spidey sense. Okay, this is stupid. No, just they don't want custom auditions. Just send me samples. This is stupid. Why would you not want a custom audition? Why? Why would you not want to hear a custom audition? Number one, samples are going to be fully produced with music and lots of effects, compression, EQ, all of that stuff on the voice, which is fine. It's fine to hear what the voice might sound like on your spot once it's like fully produced. That's kind of neat, but it's not super useful. And the biggest real danger, and this is a client education thing, the biggest danger is you can go just about anywhere you live in the United States. You're probably within a 2-hour drive of like a real professional studio. Bennett, what's going on, man? Sorry, I didn't. I don't glance at YouTube very frequently. It's usually Twitch where all the chat action is happening. But Bennett, How's it going? You're my only viewer on YouTube right now. Yeah. um, it costs me nothing to simultaneously stream to Twitch and YouTube, so we're going to both. So, no matter where you live in the U.S., you're probably within a 2-hour drive of a big professional studio, and you can pay someone a lot of money to produce a voiceover demo for you. So imagine that me up here in Mid-Coast, Maine, I go down to Portland and I pay someone $3,000 to produce a voiceover demo for me. That's about the rate that you'll find for a voiceover demo, $3,000. And then I drive back up here to my home in Mid-Coast, Maine, and then I see this job come up and I go, "Oh, cool! I'm going to submit my demo that I just got." The client hears it and they go, "Oh my God, this sounds amazing. We're going to hire that guy." Well, then what? I can't recreate that for the client. What am I going to do? Go pay another few $1,000s? The budget on this job is only $3,000. What am I going to do? How am I ever going to make money? Or more likely, I'm going to submit, if I get this job based on my sample, they're going to send me some copy and I'm going to read it and it's going to sound like shit compared to what they hired me off of. They hired me off my demo, and now what I'm able to produce here in my home studio is way inferior to what they heard on my demo. That's a huge, huge problem. So, clients, if there's ever any clients watching these videos in the future, never do this. This is a horrible idea. You're going to get screwed one day. Sooner or later, you're going to get screwed by hiring a talent whose samples sound great, but then they cannot reproduce that in their own home studio. And, why wouldn't you want to hear the client or the talent say your words? Having a custom script here basically forces talent to prove that they're able to produce anytime. Me sending you a sample, that doesn't prove anything. That just proves that I had a few $1,000s in my pocket and I could pay someone to produce a demo. That doesn't prove that I can do the day-to-day work of a voice actor. This room that I'm in, I built this room with my own 2 hands. This is a custom recording booth that I built. I've got the microphone, I've got the gear, I've got the software, I've got decades of experience editing audio. But if you just want to hear my demos, well, I could have paid someone else to do that. And when it comes to me actually doing work for you, you have no way of knowing if I'm capable of doing that. But when you post a custom audition, not only do you get to hear different people saying your words, and then you're comparing apples to apples. If everybody gets the same script and you're hearing everybody read those same words, then you get to really compare and listen to a big variety of voices all coming across the same way without any music, without a whole lot of compression and EQ and all of those things that can hide some sins. Anyway, that's enough. We would not be we would not be appropriate for this job anyway because they're seeking black talent. So that's not me, obviously. So won't be doing it. But this samples, it's so stupid. It to me as talent, it's a clear indicator that the client is an amateur. The client doesn't know what they're doing. This one, 0 projects posted. Not surprising to me, but it looks like, I guess, this is new. I've never seen this before. Multiple clients can post jointly. Not sure how that works. But this client has posted 48 projects. This client should know better. They should know better than to post that they just want samples. It's just stupid. Okay, so that one's gone. Let's take a look here. Let's look at this one. Director's Cut Back to School ad. Strictly for directors, real, no paid media. And yet, they still have a couple $100s to spend. This is what it's supposed to be like. This spot illustrates the 2 sides of a college student. Focused student versus laid-back binge watcher. Let's see here. Let's see here. The script is just one line here. Ace more presentations on realism. crush more seasons of reality. They're probably looking for a much, much younger voice, so we're not going to do this one. It's not right for us. But this is exactly what you want to see from a client posting. They filled in everything. They were very, very clear about usage. No paid media. It's for the director's reel. They've got some kind of spot that they've produced on video, and they just need the voiceover. That's all they need. And yeah, right here, male, young adult. That ain't us. So we're going to pass on it, but love to see this. It'll be a good job for whoever picks that up. Let's see here. Male adult. Ashcroft for Missouri. So is this John Ashcroft or related to? Yeah, Jay Ashcroft. Okay. So I've talked about pretty frequently on this live stream that this is not a politics live stream and is not a political live stream. However, political voiceover is a big genre, and a lot of work does get done there. Some of that work does come across on the pay-to-play websites, voices.com and Voice123. It typically doesn't come across there because political work is usually, the turnaround is even faster than what typically you'll find on the pay-to-plays. So usually they're working directly with casting directors or even directly engaging with talent to just like get this stuff out, because like politicals need to be out like same day often. But taking a look at this, it's important with politicals to pick your side. There was a time 30 years ago where you could do Republican ads and Democrat ads, and it was fine. Everybody was just having a good time. Nowadays, though, you can't. You need to pick a side because the ad agencies have picked sides. No longer are there ad agencies doing ads for both sides. The ad agencies have picked their sides, and everyone working in that agency, from the casting directors to the accounting people, they have picked their side. Generally speaking, I'm sure there are exceptions. But you need to pick your side, and you need to stick with it. And so we're not going to sit here on the live stream and talk about the merits of one side or the other. We're not going to do that. But we will read the copy that's on the page and talk about the craft of trying to read a good political spot, if it's on the side that I, as talent, have chosen. This is not. But we'll still take a look at this copy here. So this is going to be a negative ad here. It's talking about tax hike Mike Kehoe sponsored the increase in the gas tax. No wonder tax hike Mike doubled government spending and voted 4 times to sell our land to China. They'll want you to hit this word for sure, China. As Secretary of State, Jay Ashcroft made Missouri's elections the most secure in the nation. So this would be a turning point in your inflection here, because you're immediately going from talking about the villain to talking about the hero. As Secretary of State, Jay Ashcroft made Missouri's elections the most secure in the nation. As governor, he will end the income tax, repeal Mike Kehoe's gas tax, and kick China out of Missouri. Jay Ashcroft, the conservative for governor, paid for by Ashcroft for Missouri. That would be more or less the read. I was being a little bit silly, but that's the read. But we're not going to read it. That is not for us. So, but there's nothing wrong with that. If you align with what they're selling, then absolutely that'll be a good job for you there. And there we go. Let's head over to ACX because we are clear out on voices.com and Voice123. Let's refresh ACX and take a look. Now, we have seen Daddy in Love and everything older than that. So let's take a look at these 2 newer titles and see if they're right for us. About this title, I can see right here, they're looking for a female narrator with a British accent. That's not us, but let's take a look and see if this is a job that I would consider worth doing. Right here, estimated length, half an hour. That's going to be a no for me, dog. really, really short books, you want to avoid having those in your portfolio, especially early on. Now, if you've got 40 books done and you want to get a quick couple $100 for reading, for reading for half an hour, by all means, go for it. With this, it's half an hour, but you should be paid for 1 full hour. There is no splitting under 1 hour. 1.5 hours, yeah, you get paid for 1.5 hours. But if it's half an hour, if that's the length of your book, you're paying 1 full hour. So whatever your rate is, the rights holder should be prepared to pay 1 full hour's worth of that. So my rate that I quote right now is $250 per finished hour. I might need to bump that up going forward because I'm absolutely swamped with work. But this $250 per finished hour means also if your project is shorter than that, then you're going to pay the full $250 for that one for finished hours worth of work here. While this short scene is only in one POV, I'd like 2 distinct voices for the heroine and the wolf, and one narrator should be able to handle that just fine. So that's what they're looking for there. So again, if you're just starting, then, fine, great. But yeah, having super, super short things in, Chicky Nuggy, what's up? Per finished hour. So let's look at a more representative title. Okay, this one here. This book is just over 30,000 words long. I don't know if you can see that. Let me zoom a little bit. This book is over 30,000 words long. When everything's all said and done, the book is going to be about 3 1/3 hours long. And there's like a simple, like, how many words are in an hour? There's a simple formula, but that's what it's going to come out to. 3.3 hours. And we just call them finished hours because that just means that they've been edited and mastered and they're ready for delivery. So that's a finished hour versus an unfinished hour, which is like what I'm doing for Podium Audio right now. I'm delivering edited audio, but it is raw. It doesn't have any compression or EQ or mastering on it at all whatsoever. So I'm delivering unfinished audio, and they are doing the finishing of it. But usually, I am working by myself as a producer, and I am doing everything, so I am producing finished hours as I work. And so my rate is $250 per finished hour. And I know for myself how long it takes me to produce one finished hour. And that's a ratio that I know it's between 2.5 and 3 hours of labor to produce one finished hour. But for a newer narrator, that can take like 8 to 10 hours to produce one finished hour. So that's what finished hours are. And that's kind of the standard in the audiobook world. That's how you talk about rates. You talk about your per finished hour rate. And the 2 ways to get paid on Audible are either your per finished hour rate or royalty share. And royalty share is this whole other world that I've done a few royalty share titles, but it's not something that I'm really interested in. Like, I would rather just like, hello, let me give you audio and you give me money in exchange, and then we're done. Like, no further relationship required than that. Thank you very much. Royalty share is that's a gamble. Like, you can do a royalty share project and it only sells 10 copies, and so you just did all that work for like $20. It sucks. And I've got a few of those. Like, I've got a few royalty share titles that don't sell much, and I earn like $20 a month off of the royalty share titles that are still out there floating around. So I can get a couple gallons of gas every month based off my royalties. So these days I'm pure, just pay me cash. I'll give you the audio. So yeah, I wouldn't be doing this one because the book is so short, half an hour. Because if you're talking to someone say you're talking to a casting director for a big publisher, and they're like, "Oh, cool. How many books have you done?" You say, "Oh, I've done 40 books," and they go, "Wow, that's okay. You've been doing this for a while." Larry, enjoy your tacos, brother. If you tell someone you've done 40 books, and they go, "Oh, wow, that's impressive. That's great." Later, they go and look at your portfolio, and they see that your portfolio is full of this. Your books are each half an hour long. My brother in Christ, that's not a book. That's a pamphlet. You narrated a brochure. That's not a book. So that person is going to feel like you were misleading them. So that's not going to go very well. So get these on occasion if the per finished hour rate is good. And, hey, like, if they were willing to pay near the top end of this range, like, yeah, for $350, $400, yeah, I'll narrate this. Sure, let's go. But if you don't have a lot of stuff in your portfolio, don't think that this is going to be a good portfolio builder. Something is better than nothing, but if this is the majority of the makeup of your portfolio, you're going to have a bad time. All right, this one here. I found a lost hallway in a dying mall. Parentheses, I found horror. Love it. Love it. Okay, let's take a look at the about here. And we see here that they're looking again for a female narrator. So obviously, let's see here. Notes on direction are in the script doc. Love to see that. This rights holder has put in some effort to make sure that this is like something that they can parse and figure out what's going on here. It's a horror story, so the emotions will go from curious to disbelief to terror. There's also major life decisions happening with the husband, adult daughter. Okay, they've given a lot of background here. This is sort of the audible description. It's really standard that they'll paste that there. And over here in the audition, notes for each section are in the doc. Super, super standard. We'll even though we're obviously not going to do this because they're looking for a female narrator, we'll go ahead and look at this the script here. I also will note this is a decent cover art. You do need to be judging books by their cover when you are looking for titles, because if they've got a shit cover, if it's just like a template cover art, then what else have they cheaped out on? It's like the stuff Larry and I were talking about earlier with like budgets in general. Like, if they can only pay you as the talent, if they can only pay you some garbage rate like $50 to read something, what else have they cheaped out on? They've probably cheaped out on copy editing, so the script isn't going to be good. If it's an audiobook, they're probably also cheaping out on marketing and promotion and stuff. So yeah, if it's per finished hour, then it doesn't matter if the book sells or not. But all things being equal, you'd prefer that these audiobooks sell well. Like, you'd rather people be hearing your great work and everything. So yeah, but this is sort of a very first, like, you should judge books by their cover. And this is fine. This looks like maybe it's either the cover could be AI, but like, that's not so much of an issue nowadays. At least it's not just a bullshit template. So we are looking at the copy here. It's got some... so what we're seeing immediately is that they didn't just copy and paste straight up from the book, which can be fine. They have cut multiple scenes here. 3 different scenes it looks like they've cut. And they're cutting different things together. So here it looks like pure prose. Here looks like more pure prose, but it's a different sort of mood. And then here is dialogue. A couple different people, different genders speaking. We've got Jimmy, we've got Hank, maybe not Lisa. Would be good to hear, but I guess if it's if they are looking for a female narrator, it's less important that you hear the female narrator portraying female characters. It's more important that you hear how do you play the opposite gender, basically. And for ease of discussion, for shorthand, we are glossing over gender politics here, but we're just We're being simple here. But this is a great audition script. And lengthwise, this appears to be appropriate. It looks like this will time out to be about 3 to 5 minutes. So my guess is that this rights holder, maybe it's Ben Farthing. Ben Farthing is the author. The author is not always the rights holder, not always the person that you'll be interfacing with when you're trying to get an audiobook produced. But whoever posted this, whether it's Ben Farthing or someone else, they know what they're doing. They've done this before. They know how to put together a good audition script. The Farthing Agency LLC is the publisher, so this looks like a self-publisher. But I would bet that, let's go ahead and, just for fun, we're going to look and see what else the Farthing Agency has published. I would bet that they've published a bunch of things, and they've all got audiobooks, so I bet they've just got a whole ton of them. So let's take a look here. Quite a few here. 11 titles, it looks like. And I bet a bunch of these have, audiobooks right here. Let's hear the sample of I Found Puppets Living in My Apartment Walls.
The first night I slept in my missing grandpa's apartment, a puppet came out of the wall and stood over my bed.
Nice. Well done, Aaron Camacho. Amazing name. This one. What's this? It was on the top floor. Horror looks beneath book 1. Who's the narrator?
Roberts crashed into Chris from behind. The tile floor.
See? This is great. See? This rights holder has been around the block. They know what's going on. So it's good to see that stuff. Love to see this versus what we were seeing over on Voices and Voice123 earlier. Oh my God, every rights holder, every client was just a lot of misses today. Holy. So we're going to shut the stream down early because I've got a boatload of audiobook work to do. We've got our Podium Audio title, our first job with them, our first job with a publisher of that stature, and that production is due this week, and I still have a fair bit of work to do, but we're on schedule. We're not behind or anything, but that does mean I have to just put in the hours. Audiobooks are not you can't cram. It's one of those things, editing photos and editing video, to a certain extent, you can cram. You can pull an all-nighter and you can just edit photos or video, and you can get it done. With audiobooks, you cannot compress the time. Producing a finished hour of audio takes 2.5 to 3 hours for me. There is no way for me to make that shorter. I can't read it faster. I can't edit it faster than I'm already editing. There's absolutely no way to compress that time. And if you try to just okay, well, fine, I'll just work all night and I'll produce 4 finished hours in one single night. That's not an option either, because vocal stamina is a real thing. My voice will give out after producing about 2 finished hours in one day. So that is the difficulty there with audiobooks. If you were the kind of kid in high school or just in school in general who waited to do your projects and your papers at the last minute, that was me. Audiobooks are going to be a test of that inclination. You're going to have to find ways to break yourself of that. And for me, it's just about micro-scheduling. I've got my big, I'll show it here. I've got my big mega spreadsheet here. Here's my big mega spreadsheet. And I go so far as to I've got estimates for how much I need to produce on a given day. But I go so far as to break it down by okay, here's how many days worth of work I have left if I do X amount of hours per work per day. And so I know okay, for the next 4 days, I need to produce this many finished hours every day. And that comes down to this many chapters. So if I just read 2 chapters, now these are long chapters, but if I just read 2 chapters every day for the next 3 days, I'm going to be early on this book. And so that's where we are. And I do think I'm going to, we're going to shut the stream down early so that we can get some food in us, because our stomach's starting to make some noise. Get some food in us, re-oxygenate the booth here. This book in particular is, it's not a tough read, but there are a lot of tough things to read in it. There's a lot of Pashtun words in it, because it's the book takes place in Afghanistan. It was written by a Marine Corps officer about his time in Afghanistan, and so I'm familiar with a lot of the environment and everything, but the words in particular, I didn't really pick up a lot of Pashto when I was there. I think the only thing I recall is thank you, Tashakur. That's the only thing that I recall from my time in Afghanistan. But yeah, this is my spreadsheet. But hopefully we'll be filling out a few more lines here this afternoon, evening. And then tomorrow I'm going to eat some super hot wings, and I'm excited for that. So, Chicky Nuggy, Larry, thanks for stopping by. Bennett over on YouTube, sorry I didn't get to your comment sooner, but thanks for stopping by. We'll be back tomorrow at 1 Eastern and go from there. Chicky Nuggy, I hope that things on the job front are going well. Or if you're just enjoying some time off, that's great too. But otherwise, have a good day. I hope that whatever you're doing is going great. I hope you're enjoying yourself, whether it's just Apex or whatever. If you want to play some Phasmo, we're down for that too. So thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you next time. Bye.